It's a huge relief. It's really nice. I mean, obviously it was all wiped out completely, and there comes a point where you sort of forget what the purpose of your life is. And then as soon as it comes back, you remember again. It's just, you know, I've dedicated a lot of my time to thinking of and saying silly things. And to be able to say them again is, you know, fantastic. Obviously I've been saying them to my girlfriend, but she just hates it. So this is loads better.
Being back doing live comedy feels absolutely fantastic. It's just nice to do it. I love it.
I've so missed it. I don't really do anything online or Zoom because it's just not the same, and I just can't wait to be in front of not just an audience but a Glasgow audience.
One thing I do is write my set on my hands, and that's something generally newer people do. And when I did Live at the Apollo, a certain Scottish comedian was slagging me off because I had written on my hands, but he's never been on Live at the Apollo, so he doesn't know.
I don't do a lot of weird things or rituals before. I think I always found it quite impressive when I was younger of just sort of people seeming like they were doing brilliantly without really trying. So what I try and do is look like I'm just incredibly composed and super ready to hit it, but inside just sort of neurotically having a really difficult time trying to remember everything. But on the outside, I just try and seem incredibly composed, and yeah, I keep the weirdness in. People probably notice I'm weird though.
The only weird habit I have is that I wear turtlenecks even when it's warm. That's just my thing. I'm a turtleneck comedian.
Before I go on stage, I'm very known for dancing in the green room, just getting my nervous energy off, and I'll just move about, and then people will join me and they'll not even realise they're doing it, and then they'll be like, why am I dancing? I'll be like, you're welcome.
I can tell you about my best ever heckle because it was in Scotland. It was at a gig called Leighton Live at the Gilded Balloon, and it should have been easy because I'm Scottish, but a guy heckled me in such a Scottish way that I didn't know what he was saying, and like an English person I had to be like, I'm sorry, what? And I got him to repeat it and I still didn't know what he was saying, and the third time his friend translated for him. The guy was shouting, I'd get in about you like a dog eating beetroot, which sounds like, I'd get in about you like a dog eating beetroot.
I started doing stand-up when I was 18, and I was just terrible for years because I didn't know who I was as a person. And I was doing an open mic night when I first started, and a woman came up to me and she said, she just said, please stop. And then she unplugged the microphone and she took the microphone away from me. And I felt so uncomfortable, and I just left, just quietly left.
Do you know, I don't get heckled very often, and most of the time when I do, it's really just people being encouraging. Like women who are like, yes, I'm a slag too, and stuff like that.
One of the things I like about Glasgow is it's a really working class place, but the audiences tend to be politically engaged, and they're comedy savvy audiences. That makes it sound like I'm not just going to do a load of jokes about swallowing cum, which I am.
It's got an interesting energy where you feel welcome and slightly intimidated constantly. And that's sort of how I feel while doing gigs. So if anything, just being in Glasgow prepares me for doing stand-up, because at all times I'm ready for someone to ask me to stop just doing what I'm doing, or confront me. So it's great, gets you in the vibe. It's a wonderful comedy city.
I'm expecting a lot of laughs, I'm expecting them to be loud, up for it, just generally a very amiable crowd, to be honest. I've heard good things about Glasgow, I can't wait.